Quick video here on the Proteas. A lot of sport going on today. The Springboks won this morning. Go Boca. Arsenal played incredibly well. But, a friend asked me this morning, are the Proteas turning into this bewildering team of extremes? And yeah, that is the question, isn't it? First off, I'm just going to start saying that I guess we need to ask ourselves this question, right? If you're an Indian fan, if you're an Australian fan, if you're an England fan, wherever you are from in the world, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, that match is coming up now. How confident would you be that your team would chase down over 400 in an ODI match? How confident would you be that they would chase down over 300 in a T20 match? I mean, can they do it? Yeah, sure. Teams can do it. It can happen. But it just hasn't happened that often. Okay, those types of numbers, if batters see that type of score on the board, there is this thing called scoreboard pressure. You start falling behind the rates. It is a thing. It's something that we're not quite aware of because we have not been in that kind of position under that kind of pressure. So it's tough. So a lot of responsibility has to go to the bowlers. But here's the thing for me about South Africa is that fast bowling, we've got a hell of a lot of depth. Okay, look how good Kwena Mapaka was. He was the best bowler for South Africa on the day. He's now done it a few times. He took the most wickets in that Australia series as well. He's absolute fire. So that's great for South Africa. There's still people like Coetzee, Nandre Burger didn't play, Corbin Bosch didn't play. Nokia is there. I'm not sure how much, if he's going to be able to get enough cricket time in to be considered for the World Cup. And then obviously, there's Lungisani and Gidi. So the fast bowling depth for me is phenomenal. Where the issue comes in for me, and I've been saying this for the last year or two, because I've been noticing in the previous SA20, not a lot of South African local spinners playing, except, being picked regularly. Even Shamsi wasn't picked regularly. Happy that he got picked up by MI, because I do feel like in certain conditions, it would suit them well to have a third, by MI Cape Town, to have a third frontline spinner, right? To really cause some issues at Paarl and at Durban. But that's about it. Maharaj Shamsi, George Linder, Bjorn Fortuin plays for Paarl, Haba Peter as well. But that's it, guys. That's it. And for me, just the skills that Maharaj has, how he's able to bowl with variations. Another guy who does this, who bowls bravely as a spinner, is George Linder. They flight the ball. They slow the ball up. Adil Rashid was bowling 79 kilometers an hour, mid-80s, because on pitches conducive to spin, we're going to the subcontinent next year. We were at Manchester. It's the best location for spin. You can't be darting in balls at 99 kilometers an hour, flat deliveries, no flight. Okay, you have to work with the pitch as well. You need to have the skills to be able to get the best out of the pitch. And I just don't think we did that yesterday. And so whenever Maharaj is in there, it's kind of like we fall out of the bus when it comes to the spinning department. So this is something that South Africa really has to look at. They need to look into this. They need to go and scout at high schools who's going to be our next spinners. It's your son, because our women, there's plenty of depth. We're going to see it now in the World Cup, the upcoming World Cup. But is your son, is he taking up spin bowling? Because if you look at the ODI rankings, T20I rankings, the top 10 bowlers, 8 of them, 7 at least, are spinners. Where are our spinners? Where are they for the future? Because Maharaj, Shamsi, Linda, all in their mid-30s, we've got 2 World Cups left maybe with those guys. So that's an area that South Africa really has to look into. And in terms of the toss, because I saw a lot of people complaining about the toss as well. Yeah, Aiden said afterwards, in hindsight, not a good decision, was the wrong decision. But guys, we can't always bat first. If we turn this into, look at what's happening with Afghanistan. We just can't go down that road. We went down that road in the 2023 World Cup, and we had to pay for it. We can't be a team that just likes doing one thing. We have to be able to do both. So if we don't sort out chasing now in bilaterals, I don't see us doing it at the World Cup. So it needs to happen now. If we're going to have to lose some matches along the way, that's fine. But we need to get this nightmarish mental ghost in our heads that we can't chase scores. We need to sort it out now. And then finally, talking about, I guess, the batting, probably there's a couple of players out of form. There's still a lot of cricket to be played. We still have the whole SA20, which is going to be amazing prep just before the World Cup. And so I do feel like the team isn't going to be decided until very late, or at least I hope not. Because form plays a part in cricket. We all know this. It's a thing, okay? How do batters play against spin? That's the thing about Brevis as well. Yesterday, we lost 3 wickets in the power play. Then he came in, 4 or 5 balls left of the power play. Then the spin bowlers were going to come on. He went for a shot. Not a very smart choice. In my opinion, he probably should have waited until the spin attack was going to come on, because that's his role. And so something that I'm not seeing quite enough of is player roles and flexibility within the batting lineup. Certain players for certain situations. That's what T20 cricket is becoming. And I think that's what brings out the best in teams, is if they actually go that route. South Africa actually did that in the previous World Cup, which worked really well. When the spinners were coming on, there wasn't such a thing as Klaasen coming in at 5 or 6 or whatever. He was coming in at 4, because that's his job, to come and take on the spinners. So roles need to be identified for me. I'm still not quite sure what the best numbers are for certain people. Then there's somebody like a Donovan Ferreira, let me say that proper in South African Afrikaans accent. The guy took 8 wickets in 10 matches. Economy of, I think 5.5. It wasn't 6. It was somewhere in the 5s in the SA20 at Johannesburg, right? And then obviously he went towards spinning, played a big part in the previous SA20. He's also a guy that we can be experimenting with. He's in fantastic form with the bat. He's batting with real confidence. So that's also an area that we could look at to be experimenting with, because I feel like he's come a long way with his spin bowling. But batters playing spin, bowlers having proper spinning skills, it's going to be what we're going to have to look at for this upcoming World Cup. But not a good sight for South Africa to see this. The thing is, we are winning series. The thing is, if you want to win World Cups, you're going to have to win matches. You can't really have an off day, because what if that off day net run rate plays always plays a part in cricket tournaments, always. So you have an off day like this, we did it 3 times now, our net run rate is going to be absolutely screwed. And then you're going to have that pressure of having to win every single game after that, because you can sometimes lose a match in a World Cup and it could be fine. But not if you lose one like that. If you lose one like that, it's almost like losing 2 games, right? Because of net run rate. So not very happy, but certain things are small things, right, that just need to click in. But the bowlers have to be better. But like I said, the fast bowlers, they're kind of allowed to have a little bit of an off day, because they've been there for South Africa, always have been. We count on these fast bowlers. But anyway, that's my opinion. What did you guys think if you watched the match or checked some highlights, etc.? What were your thoughts?